I am in fact here.
Hey, Avert.
Hey, Gugonic.
You better have the weekend free.
I better. I mean, it's 100% roll the dice. If I could snap my fingers and make it 100%, I could join. I would do it, but I can't. So
We are now live.
Anyway, do you think this is going to be better than the direct? I actually don't know. State of Place have not had a good track record.
Well, I don't really think it's going to be good. I don't think there's going to be anything here worthwhile. But there's a chance we might get something. And the Nintendo Direct earlier today did not set the bar particularly high.
Yeah, so you're saying there's a chance.
Yes. Yes, I am.
No one here got that reference.
I do not believe I did.
No.
I'm gonna look up the quote now to see where it came from.
Alright, see what actor said it.
Oh, Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Now, which movie did he say this from?
Older.
Oh, Dumb and Dumber. Okay. Oh, hey, Wolves is here. I didn't even notice.
He came in a few
When
seconds
you
ago
look
and he
over
was
and all of a
muted.
sudden this penguin shows up.
Penguin giving everybody the death stare.
There's a lot that's happened in the past 2 weeks or so.
True.
I guess, yeah.
Such
Since
as a
our
certain
last-
video reaching 200,000 views. Congratulations on that, by the way.
Yep. It took almost a year for that to happen for the Toy Story 4 video.
Damn, it's been almost a year. Jesus.
Yeah, it less than a month and it'll be 1 year since I released that video. October 8th, 2021. Not a date I intended to have the same effect as October 1st, 2019, but it happened.
Alright, so Trevor, I was gonna ask you this, but we never had a chance to voice chat.
They're shit.
Yeah.
They're very,
Thoughts on,
very
the
bad.
First and second, detailed review.
They're the most... Okay, so... spoilers for the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Not that you should care.
Property of Peter Parker.
Ben's death is the most contrived bullshit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And it makes it even worse because I don't care about him because he's an actual dick throughout the entire movie. I love how there's just no consistency in terms of Peter's ability to dodge bullets. He dodges them like the Matrix in the beginning, and then one stray bullet hits him at the very end. That's great. I also love the entire bridge battle, where the lizard just disappears and no one cares, and the kid that's dangling in the car is basically right next to the fire and doesn't burn alive or instinctively move away from the flames. I love that that Peter yanks the kid through the back door of the window, and somehow his body is able to squeeze through that tiny window and doesn't get slammed on either edge, on either the top, bottom, or sides of it. I love that Peter has one arm suspending himself to the bridge and one on the kid, and somehow is still able to get his mask back on before he gets back up to the top of the bridge. I love the fact that Peter doesn't think to try to get evidence to present to Liz's dad, or not Liz's dad, Gwen's dad, until after he goes the first time, so that by the time he goes there, it's already too late. It's like, of course I'm not going to believe you if you don't present them evidence. And then when he goes down there, his method of presenting the evidence is the dumbest thing in the world. I love leaving cameras behind. I love the fact that the police still prioritize Peter Parker over the lizard that's threatening to convert the entire city into lizards. I love the Halo show where they prioritize the super soldier over the alien race is about to wipe you all out. That's fantastic. I really love how utterly contrived it is that the girl that Peter likes is also the girl who's intertwined with the villain, who's also intertwined with the police chief, and the reason why that's important is because at the end of the movie, she's the only reason why he still survives, because the police catch him, but then they take the mask off, and oh no, it's the guy my daughter's dating, oh no, whatever will we do? Well, I guess we can't kill him now, and so he gets away to save the day, which is also happens earlier because it's only thanks to her that he's able to even get deeper into the building than he does in the first place. I also love the hilarious payoff that they try to have at the end of the movie, where they're like, hey, it's Spider-Man, we gotta help Spider-Man. Where did this come from? The whole movie has been painting him up as this terrible, terrible human being, according to police reports anyway, and magically out of nowhere, he's everyone's favorite person in the whole wide world. Great. I also really, really love that the lizard guy has Peter in his grasp so many times. He has his hand around his skull like 3 times, and instead of just crushing his skull and getting it over with, because he's clearly not above killing him, he just monologues to him like an asshole. And that's just the first one.
The second one? Ooh.
Here's the thing, the second one is so bad I stopped paying attention to it after the first scene. The first scene was so catastrophically terrible in the second movie that I just gave up. I actually tuned out and stopped listening to it. So
that first scene in the airplane is so fucking bad.
I think the problems start before that point, because so
started to watch the Amazing Spider-Man 2 logo show.
It's clear that Oscorp is monitoring him, because they are able to lock him out. They're surveying his movements throughout that building. But they allowed him to get into the lab in the first place instead of just deactivating, because they broke into the study. They broke into the study beforehand, and yet they still let him take all the steps that he did instead of just locking his access, because his card key would have had to still have access to the lab before he got in, because obviously he had to get in the first place. It's only once he gets in that his card key access is revoked. It's so stupid. And again, I don't even know why they let him get on that plane in the first place instead of just, I don't know, capturing him, kidnapping him, to then maybe kidnap his family and say, hey, we're gonna hold him hostage until you finish helping us with the Spider Project. I also love that he didn't share the files that he had, because he had the files. Richard Parker had the files and he didn't share any of them before he was sucked into the whole plane sequence. And also, the actions that he takes just set him up perfectly to be Oscorp's scapegoat. It works out so perfectly for them that he makes all the decisions that he makes, because it sets him up to be like, oh, he ran away and he was doing all these evil stuff. We didn't know about it. Then the plane sequence actually begins, and oh boy, he didn't start the upload of the stupid files until he was in the goddamn plane. Started in the car. No, not even in the plane. In the air. He starts it in the air. How about, I don't know, start it in the plane, start it while you're on the ground, not in the air, instead of waiting until the absolute last possible minute. And then there's the guy who hijacks the plane and literally washes his bloody hands in front of him. Like, wow, are you ripped straight out of a cartoon? Actually, no. Cartoons probably would have more respect for something like this. And I love that he doesn't just, like, why even bother trying to be nice to him? Just shoot the goddamn laptop to stop the upload. What are you doing? And again, I don't understand why you do any of this instead of just kidnapping his family and holding them ransom. I love that shooting one window makes the whole cabin depressurize. I love that the laptop doesn't fly out of the window so conveniently when everything's flying all over the place. The laptop happens to be the one thing that doesn't fly out, and it just... I checked out. I was ready to check out right there and then, but then someone else convinced me to give it a chance, even though they also think the movie is shit. So we watched the next scene, and the next scene was even worse, because then we have Peter Parker who's wasting his time talking to Max because there's a bus full of plutonium barreling down the street. But we can't be doing that because we have a villain to talk to. So he wastes way too much time just sitting on the street doing nothing, talking to this guy because, well, of course he has to talk to this guy. He's the villain of the movie. We gotta build up development, am I right? Not like there's, like, dozens of people that are in danger of being exploded on the bus right now. No, that's not a pressing concern whatsoever. I also love that he's messing with the truck driver and quipping with him constantly when there are much more pressing issues to be concerned over. Like, I don't know, maybe trying to grab the wheel, web him up, take control of the car. And I wanted to throw something at the goddamn screen when he answered the phone call from Gwen. What are you doing? People's lives are on the line. If you're gonna answer the phone, then answer it quickly and say, can't talk, bye. But I wouldn't even answer it in the first place. It is... After that bus scene, I gave up. I'm like, I'm not paying attention to this, and the person I was watching it with, we just started talking about random stuff, because I just couldn't be asked to care. But any time beyond that point, I tried to pay attention to the movie, I found more things that made no sense. Like, apparently, Harry never found out about the skin disease, ever, in any situation. Never went to any doctors to talk about it. No one ever thought anything was suspicious about this. There were never any signs earlier. I love the Max falling into the fucking pool of eels. That's definitely how floor panels work. he falls off a platform and then proceeds to fall through like 2 or 3 levels of metal grating. And there also happens to be a tank of eels directly below where he fell in the first place. I also love that they introduced Harry and Peter as being like, hey, we're the best of friends who ever existed. It's like, no, you didn't. You didn't exist till yesterday. I don't believe it in a meta sense because you didn't exist, and I also don't believe it in universe because you just established that you haven't spoken since you were like 9 years old, and it's just, and I don't even. The whole scene where, in Times Square, the police start attacking Electro, therefore Spider-Man betrayed them, I get, like, how does... the logic that Electro tries to connect in his head of the police attacking me, therefore must mean Spider-Man betrayed me, doesn't follow logically. I like that when they shoot the water hose at Electro, the electricity doesn't travel through the water stream to zap Peter and the firefighters or whatever. And, oh man, when I found out that the way in which Richard Parker disguised the truth was that he hid the coins to a subway station in a calculator, like, what the how? First of all, Peter only happened to find that accidentally because of a flood. Like, the house flooded, and so he found the briefcase in the first movie. And then beyond that point, he only happened to find the coins because he threw the calculator at the wall, it was just out of pure rage. Really? That's the best you got. Okay then, it's not like the calculator should have been way heavier than ordinarily because there's coins inside of it. And it's not like the FBI should have, or whoever the people they were that sent to the house after Richard Parker died in the plane, should have found this briefcase. Because they clearly were there. They clearly were concerned about what else he could have done. So it's very bad. It's very bad because either when the FBI were at the house, they found the briefcase and chose to do nothing about it, which is stupid, or they didn't find the briefcase, which is equally stupid, and Richard Parker just chose the most scatterbrained series of clues so that he could have possibly left for Peter to maybe deduce this inanely complicated mystery to find the answers.
Basically, what you're saying is we're gonna have to do an audio commentary.
I will not watch those films again. You can't make me.
Actually, considering that the second movie specifically.
Also, there might already be something in the works for that.
So someone in chat asked if the Amazing Spider-Man movies would make your list of the top 20 worst.
First thing I said when I finished watching Amazing Spider-Man 2 is I wish I waited to make the list because holy hell.
It always happens.
Yeah, dude. Every time you make a list, it instantly gets outdated.
Except the good ones. I mean, even the good ones.
The good ones got outdated too.
So yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man movies are really shit. And on that note, I guess it's almost time for the state of play. That went by real fast.
Yeah. Also before it starts, apparently there's a 1 minute difference between European time and American time. I don't know how that works, but it is a thing apparently. But how is that a thing?
That's a great segue though. So yeah, the movies are really shit. Speaking of really shit, state of play.
How do I feel about my growth? I have never been happier with the state of my channel.
State of our play.
That
And
200k views, Incredibles Part 1, you know, it's doing pretty good.
2, 1.
and apparently 250k views for Toy Story 4 Part 1. Actually, has Part 4 finally crossed 100k yet? Nope, Part 4 is still stubbornly at 99k views.
Everyone here, watch Part 4. It's the best part.
It's really good.
Yeah, Part 4
Also,
in particular.
things that are not good, here's the state of play.
So, for anyone expecting anything more than just third-party games, there are two versions of this live stream: English and English subtitles. So it's most likely just Japanese developers talking.
Well, I found someone in chat asked if Trevor's seen Whiplash. That's great.
I have not seen Whiplash yet, but I want to. It's, many people have told me that's really good.
Game?
It's also Shea Phyllis's favorite film of all time.
Oh,
And now I don't want to watch it anymore all of a sudden.
nah, because he praises a lot of really good things. Like I said, it's just him saying Toy Story 4 is the anti-Toy Story movie is hilarious, but it doesn't make him a terrible reviewer.
Anyway, Tekken's on the screen right now.
And it's not a rhythm game.
Oh no, Rhythm Tekken.
Yeah.
It might be Rhythm Tekken. You could cut and they're gonna have the arrows on it from
No,
DDR.
please no.
Or, even better, it's also not a freaking farming
Farming game.
simulator.
Let's see what the State of Play will have. That it's basically the equivalent to the farming game.
Also, would you believe me if I told you that the Nintendo Direct has yet to be copyright claimed?
I would.
Yeah, they probably just
met-
didn't care. They're like, ah, fuck it, we're not dealing with this. Let's wreck this shit. We're not doing it.
It's too bad for the copyright
It's like
holders.
whenever you have a really shitty movie, they don't copyright claim it on YouTube. Like, there's literally just the entirety of Home Alone 5 on YouTube. The copyright claim, and so it's like, yeah, fuck it.
Sadly, that is not the case for Free Guy. Free Guy's the only video I've ever had to deal with. Well, I mean, except for Lightyear, but that's a special case.
Tekken 8 is
Tekken
coming
8?
to the PlayStation 5 console.
As far as reviews are concerned, the only one I've ever had issues with, in terms of
Bandai Namco
getting blocked for showing too much of a film at once, was Free Guy.
Now, let's check in on 2 games.
Anyway, I
in
can't wait for the
development
Tekken
for
farming
PlayStation
game,
VR
though.
2.
That'll be sick.
Ugh.
Yes, my favorite Japanese developed game, Star Wars.
Oh, Star Wars is getting a farm game, too? Farm Wars?
Oh my god.
I mean, it sounds like a good idea. Let's see how well the execution is.
So I would like to point out that there are 2 tags just below the video. The State of Play, saying PlayStation and hashtag PS5 games. So I guess we'll keep track of the amount of actual PS5 games. in this
What's that?
showcase.
There's actually a third hashtag. It's really small. It says hashtag farm. I don't know what that's
No.
about.
How many farm games can you make for VR? Legitimate question, actually. What would a farm game? How would that work in VR?
How did it work in VR? Pretty
Actually,
simple.
I'm not ironically make that.
Well, you could make one in third person. First person, I'm not so sure, but third person you could definitely do.
Yeah, kind of like yeah.
It'd be like Minecraft VR.
Oh, just in development, 2023. Alright. Well, at least it wasn't like a pre-rendered thing. So.
True.
The first thing I think of when I see this is Hearthstone.
Those
Yeah,
cards
VR
really
Hearthstone.
did look
VR
like that,
Hearthstone.
so honestly, I might be that.
Question: Where's this farming joke simulator coming from? Is this a joke about the direct? I did not see it.
You don't need to know what.
Yeah,
the
you
joke
weren't
is.
you weren't here for the Nintendo Direct.
The farm direct.
You
Oh,
should
God.
check out our coverage of it. Get caught up on all the memes.
I just took a quick glance at it to see if there was anything, and it
There
just,
wasn't.
I just
The
clicked
short
random
version
point-
was the short version was Exceed Games love farming simulators, and therefore they released 2 of them, announced 2 of them in the same direct, and then also another few other companies also announced a farming simulator.
Yeah,
didn't
Waffles was
realize-
like- I just clicked to a random point in the video and it was a farming simulator.
So it's a
I
PS5.
just went at the bottom and saw the timestamps.
Literally, it was all RPGs and farming simulators. Then there was an RPG farming simulator. It's great.
Good question. Even though I'm not a big Star Wars fan, what would be my favorite Star Wars movie? Probably A New Hope.
Yeah, because it's the most airtight plot.
Yeah. That's probably what I would go with.
Of a game that hadn't left Japan. Is that what it said?
I've only seen 2 Star Wars movies. That's A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back.
Which one would you say is better?
I actually don't know. They're both for me. I wasn't really into any of them.
Yeah, that's been my same thing for me with Star Wars. It's just never been my thing.
I think you're like the only person I've ever seen who's seen every Star Wars movie, but still thinks it's just and isn't really into it.
Yeah, usually you have people that are either like, yo, the prequels are my favorite ever, or the originals my favorites, or the sequels are I told you about the time when I started an argument over Star Wars movies because I was bored, right?
You're bored, so you woke up and chose violence.
Well, that's just... Well, I think once I start telling the story, you'll remember what because I'm pretty sure I told you this before. basically my parents were, when I was in high school, my parents dragged me out to a dinner with one of their college friends' daughters who was going to a college they wanted me to go to, as if it wasn't blatantly obvious what they were trying to do. So because I definitely didn't want to be there, and I would just rather be anywhere else. I knew she was a Star Wars fan, so I said, "Hey, how would you rank the Star Wars movies?" Here goes nothing. And then she ranked them, and I just basically she ranked them by groupings of prequels, sequels, originals, whatever. And whatever order she chose, I would have argued the opposite for which was the best. That was a fun night.
That was
Basically
so.
solidified that I would never spend any time with her for the rest of my life, which was the goal.
Oh, I'm so bored.
not-
Let's start a war.
Oh,
Referring to the state of play, I believe this is called Hogwarts Legacy. Oh, it's right on
I'm
screen
pretty sure
actually
it
now.
is, yeah.
that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, it is. It is Hogwarts Legacy. As a Harry Potter fan, this is really cool. I really hope it will stick the landing, basically. It's just... I'm not sure. We will
Harry
see.
Potter fan, but the game just looks... It just looks interesting in terms of the little I've seen.
The only exposure I've had to Harry Potter is through Universal.
I've seen all the movies, but I haven't read any of the books. Actually, no, scratch that. I had to read Sorcerer's Stone back in like 4th grade.
I assume that's the first one.
Yes.
I have the first one. It's called Philosopher's Stone in different regions.
In every region except America, actually.
Oh. In Canada, because ours was Sorcerer's
America's
Stone.
just built different.
You can say that again.
Yeah, very different. That's the way to put it.
Harry Potter, and you're allowed to go ride the Hagrid ride soon. Oh yeah, I would wholeheartedly recommend the Hagrid's Motorcycle Adventure to anybody who gets the chance to go to Universal. Easily my favorite coaster I've ever been on.
From what I've heard, it's really good. I didn't have the time to go there when I was in America a few years ago.
And
Maybe someday.
America has all the good theme parks. In Canada, we have freaking Canada's Wonderland. Woo!
Is that literally what it's called?
It's literally called Canada's Wonderland. The marketing is just like, hey there, fellow Canadians.
That's the name of a bad Yuji Naka game.
Like in America, the marketing
Which
is,
one?
hey there, fellow humans, to pretend as if they're humans. In Canada, the marketing for stuff is, hey there, fellow Canadians.
Also, that duck on the dashboard looks like a warped version of Perry the Platypus.
And don't you want a warped version of Perry the Platypus on
No,
your
I don't.
dashboard?
You pointed out, I can't unsee it.
You must all now suffer the same fate as me.
Waffle's new profile pic just dropped.
What?
On the desk, or the dashboard rather.
The laser eyes over the duck.
It even has the hat.
Oh, I see. Actually, no, after the stream, I'm gonna go take a screenshot of it.
Well, we're already halfway over, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
At least
wow.
The
They
pain
did
train
say it was
is
like
short.
10 games being shown in 2 minutes.
So
They said
we,
it's only 20 minutes.
a whole lot of nothing so far.
Hey, there's
No
Pacific
farming
Drive.
game.
Guys excited for Pacific Drive?
No.
Oh, wait, what's
There was
that?
a
It's a
game
farming
No, I'm
simulator
not.
in a
Like-
car?
Yakuza, but ancient times, I guess.
Yakuza farming simulator.
No.
Great, no date.
Nice.
Oh,
In case
no
you
date
want
of
to know
any
when
kind.
Pacific
Well, at
Drive
least
is coming
it's
up.
actually PS5 only, at
True.
least console-wise.
Up next, let's check in on PlayStation Stars, a loyalty program
What-
rolling out soon.
Oh, this!
Is this their Game Pass competitor?
I would
I have
assume
no
so.
idea.
Hi everyone, I'm Grace Chen. Not long ago, we announced our
Okay,
brand
what
new
are
loyalty
these
program
things?
called PlayStation
Global
Stars.
marketing.
It's designed to celebrate you, the
great
players.
marketing
It will
scheme.
be free to join PlayStation Stars. As a member, you
Okay.
can complete various
being
activities to earn
celebrated.
points
I thought you
and
cancelled that
redeem
already,
free
Have my
didn't you?
interest.
Digital collectibles are a highlight
Also, I'm
of the
gonna
program.
pretend I didn't just
These
go
are
look
digital
at the
representations
chat
of
and see
things that
something.
PlayStation fans
Uh-oh.
love.
Did you say digital
Today, I'm
collectibles?
pleased to give
Uh-oh.
you a sneak peek at some
Uh-oh.
examples of our
Buy
digital
a Sony NFTs.
Oh
Shut up.
my.
It's a beloved game character
Oh
or
my
cherished
God.
device known
3D
for
NFTs.
Oh,
It's like-
oh
Oh
no.
no! We're gonna get
It's
NFT.
like,
You are not serious.
It'll work. But
It's like what Nintendo
Don't
did.
do it.
Use
Don't
PlayStation
fucking
Stars
dare.
Platinum
begins
points
to
to
buy
buy
in some
PNGs.
regions in Asia, starting in late September.
I don't
It will
care.
launch
You don't want
direct
want to go
Europe
this
in
rabbit
September.
hole. You really
I
don't.
think they might have
Check PlayStation
said
Blog
before
to
that
learn
it
more about
wasn't.
If this is NFTs, you
But
have
it's exactly what it looks like. So
Sony has the
maybe the
chance to
marketing
make this worse than a
could have
Nintendo
been,
Direct.
better.
Okay.
Oh my god, are we getting a space game? Maybe it's a
Another space
game.
game. You know, Sony presentations have been lacking space games recently.
Oh god.
You could have just cut out the space part, but there you go.
Out of space for that.
True.
Would you get hated for mentioning a specific thing? I doubt it. I mean, I guess it depends on what it is.
Yeah, would you hate me if I talked about something I'm not gonna talk about?
I have no idea.
Fortnite.
I mean, there is one space game that I wouldn't mind seeing.
Halo coming to PS5.
You are reaching for the stars if you think you're gonna get another one.
Reaching for the PlayStation stars.
I am. That's why I'm not even mentioning.
Reach for the stars. Sonic Colors Ultimate coming out.
Oh my god.
Sonic Colors Ultimate Remastered.
Yeah, they'll do a Last of Us. Sonic Colors Ultimate
With redone soundtrack.
Also,
Sonic Colors Part 1.
also known as Sonic Colors Ultimate, but this time it actually works.
No, it's gonna be
No,
worse.
Sonic Colors Ultimate in the bottom for real this time.
Okay, you have my interest. State of play.
Wish I could say the same.
I wish I could say the same too.
These next two intense
Most interesting part of this so
That
far has
it?
been PlayStation NFTs.
Oh,
No dates, no platform.
Oh, but PS5 console exclusives, you say? Alright.
Meanwhile, on PS4, Halo Infinite coming out next year.
Oh. Oh, is this... Oh, wait, what the fuck?
Oh. Okay.
I have no idea what this is.
It's a luscious beard.
Speaking Japanese. I don't know what you say.
자이오니아, 버려진 자들의 도시지.
And the Banshee.
전성기에는 10만 명 이상이 살았던 곳이야.
황무지 아래 건설한 도시라니.
I mean, honestly, this is kind of about what I expected from the state of play.
Yeah, sure. Interesting to see Japanese, to hear Japanese in a Sony, like an actual Sony game, considering what they did with their Japanese studios
Yeah.
a few moments back. A shame, because I really like games. The game is made by Japan Studio. Yes, that's literally their name.
It's an unlisted native, but it was spelled like it came out of the AI universe.
Oh.
New Souls game from Spike Chunsoft, the creators of Danganronpa.
Oh, I think... Was this already announced? Because this seems familiar.
Also, we have only 5 minutes left.
I'm sure that the last 5 minutes are going to be amazing. You'll see.
Last 5 minutes, they announced a new
Maybe we'll
Smash
get PC port, and maybe we'll get God of War. That's about what I expect.
Alright, we have one more thing to show you. Cuts to black. Halo Infinite coming to
No,
PS5
cuts
2024.
to black. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach.
Oh,
Security Breach VR.
is that even... Because I think they said it was going to be out on other platforms, and it was going to be a temporary exclusive to PlayStation. I don't believe that at all.
I can't wait for when Security Breach
Wait,
comes
wait,
out for
which
Nintendo
can you
Labo.
talk about?
Security Breach.
Didn't they mention an Xbox release?
If they did, I didn't see it.
Security Breach on Switch. That sounds like joy.
Oh, could you imagine?
Jesus
That sounds like so much fun. If it comes out on Switch, you have to redo the entire game.
Okay, it comes out... Well, I mean, it's listed for December 31st this year, which means... whenever.
Probably gonna be delayed until the
Until when the game should have been delayed in the first
Oh,
place.
Koei Tecmo, you say?
Oh,
On
very
the live stream
interesting.
server, there's just a Discord message thing.
I sure do love Warrior games.
That bird looks so fake. It looks like the birds from Birdemic did.
No, come on.
Almost. It looks like they just pasted it. Right
Yes, it's Bird Simulator. Everything I ever wished for.
Oh, it's Team Ninja. Oh, wait.
That's the Warrior Studio actually.
Is it? I don't think that is.
Yes.
No,
I think that was
War.
Team Ninja.
Team Ninja is not the War Studio. Koei Tecmo is. But I think with
Team
Super
Ninja
Bowl
made
now-
Fire Emblem Warriors 3, Fire Emblem Warriors though.
Huh.
I know for a fact that's the case.
You're not excited for anything. You don't know if it's just you. You're not alone. This state of play has failed to impress me.
It's a state of play.
What do you think it's worth? Just being overall meh, or whatever the fuck was Nintendo Direct?
Well, I laughed at the Nintendo Direct. I felt no
I
emotions towards the state
didn't.
of
I
play.
cringed
Yeah.
all the way through. So this
But wait, we have one more thing to show you. Cuts to black, new Donkey Kong Country on PS5.
As if. Oh, there you go. That's a console exclusive. Console exclusive.
Yeah, they did say that.
I just had to go check something. Did anything actually happen during
was
that
They
last
just
announcement?
announced the new Donkey Kong Country for PS5.
Only Sony would announce a game for 2024.
Yeah. Wait, well, hold on a sec. Mario Kart 9's coming out on the PS5.
Okay, God of War.
Oh, yeah.
I guess he's one jump ahead of the breadline.
Either that or
Swing ahead of the sword.
PC port.
Yeah,
No,
it
that's
looks like
God of War.
it looks like.
Yeah, it is
Okay.
right. Oh, not actual
Frozen
gameplay.
3.
All right, please
Lovely.
cut to actual gameplay.
What even is the point? Well, then again, it is a PlayStation game, so it's hard to tell.
Well,
the difference.
Wait, are they? Wait,
Also
they're
shows up.
announcing a
White
controller.
behind there, probably in.
Wait,
Oh my god!
You're just announcing a controller.
you've got to be. This,
Really?
Controller.
Are you
This is the final announcement of the day.
kidding me?
The controller.
that is not
People
what you're
laugh.
ending this video. That is not how you're.
Imagine
Never
if
mind.
the
It
Nintendo
looks like we're
Direct-
getting to the actual game.
Actually,
Trevor,
do end there. It's
imagine-
gonna be so
Limited
funny.
edition.
Imagine if they
Finish
ended
it
the
there.
Nintendo
Stop
Direct
it.
with the Breath of the
Okay,
Wild
no, it
2
wasn't.
controller.
But why would they show the controller?
New Splatoon 3 Joy-Cons.
It was so
Breath of
important
the
that it
Wild.
needed to be dedicated to a specific section.
And they make a whole animated Breath of the Wild 2
So
trailer
dumb.
just for the Pro controller.
God killer.
Santa Monica. Yeah, they tend to make that game.
Is it a god of war we came to find?
Oh, roll credits.
Okay, that's
Ah.
Do
ding.
you want war?
And he said the thing.
Do you, Kratos? All that blood on your hands? On your son's hands?
Come on, where is he? I want to make the obvious joke.
You will not tell me.
I can't talk about it, but I just need you to trust me.
We follow your every whim.
But you don't believe in any of it.
And still I follow.
Oh yeah, he's going out. That voice.
Fair enough.
You are safe.
Came out of nowhere for
All
me.
that matters.
I played the original game not too long ago.
I do not need you to protect me.
I'm curious though, how does that work for a god?
Pretender god.
I mean, Kratos should be really old at this point.
Is this actual gameplay?
Yes, it is.
Yes, most likely is, yeah.
Most likely is.
It's
Back
not most
to
like that. I played the
100%
original
sure.
game. This is the gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lifetimes has anyone ever
They-
worshipped you?
I know people say it a lot,
Oh, that's neat.
but when it comes to PlayStation exclusives, Ratchet and Clank is pretty much the only one that stands apart in terms of its presentation.
Another
even
game
then-
with a grappling hook. Let's go.
Rift Apart especially took a lot from
Beyond the monster
Spider-Man.
who kills without
Yeah, PlayStation tends
the whole
to make a lot
Well, I
of
mean,
games
so,
that look
yeah, it's-
realistic.
They're still visually
Yeah.
similar in terms of its cinematic
and even a bit of
presentation, but
design.
it's game like there's actual gameplay I can look forward to.
I like the pseudo grapple hook that it showed in one of
Oh, I guess I missed it.
I can't wait for the
Yeah, but it's
amazing
like-
Spider-Man
it's-
Oh,
game
look, it's
coming.
Hunger Games.
Shooting into Doctor Strange's portal.
I know.
That's actually exactly what happens in the second Hunger Games movie.
Yep, I can confirm that's the
But they,
thing.
they shoot into
Where's the
Doctor
force
Strange's
field?
portal.
Violet's on break.
I was just gonna say that. You
Oh, is
were
that-
too soon.
Oh.
No! Blue stars, heavens be! We
Wait,
lost
that-
power.
What?
Hey,
Oh, Thor
we
Ragnarok.
gotta hold
Oh my
on
God,
nothing
that's
from
right.
that.
They took a cue from the endgame design.
And that's the show.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
Comes to PS5.
Okay, at least
That
it's
was
8.
At least, okay, at the very
That's
least,
fine.
they didn't end on a controller.
That
We can,
I
we
kinda
can
wish
That
they
would
did.
have been
We
funny.
can thank
For,
the
for a
God
moment, I
of
thought they were going to.
I
They ended
did.
on
also.
PlayStation buttons instead.
It would still have been funny if they ended on the controller,
That
yeah.
would've been hilarious. There's a new farm controller. It's a picture of a barn on it.
And that's a wrap, folks.
Oh, Nintendo Direct was better.
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
And the Direct was not better.
It was funnier though.
That
Not
makes
me,
it
it
better in
wasn't.
my book. Funnier equals better.
Nah, I'm interested in God of War, so.
Okay, that's one thing.
I mean that helps, yeah.
Well,
I
that's
wasn't. I'm
one-
interested in.
That is
I wasn't
20%
interested.
of the presentation.
I wasn't interested in the state of play until they showed off that controller. I was like, oh geez.
That is the strongest emotional reaction that they got out of me, was showing off the controller. Which is,
I'm excited for Hogwarts Legacy, but I don't. They didn't show enough yet, or basically they keep on showing cinematic trailers instead of gameplay, which makes it hard to determine if I will enjoy the game or not.
that's modern gaming for you.
Yes, I unfortunately have to agree with that. That's a thing.
Anyway,
I've gained. I had. Well,
Anyway,
There's-
rank the Spider-Man movies.
all right. Okay, Amazing
you wanna go
Spider-Man 2
first?
is bottom. I don't have a set ranking in mind. I'll have to just bullshit my way through this. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the weakest. Amazing Spider-Man 1 would go next to it. And from there, I have literally no idea. Spider-Man 3, Raimi trilogy, would probably be next. I don't know from there. I have to type it out.
Well,
Well, ranking for me is really easy. It all goes into I have never seen tier.
Oof. You should change that.
Probably goes. Because
Trevor,
the
what's-
only ones
what's-
I've seen are the MCU ones. So
So, Trevor, what's your favorite of the Spider-Man movies?
I think at this point it's categorical Homecoming is the best of the bunch.
yeah, I agree because I was going
Homecoming's
to say
better than Far From Home?
Homecoming.
I
Far From
would
Home,
say the
and then-
Homecoming is better than Far From Home. Far From Home's the scene on the bus where he sends a drone
Oh,
strike
yeah.
on his friend, that was immensely
Hilarious.
stupid.
And hilarious. I fucking love that part of it.
Nah, I hate that.
All right, he's gonna send a picture of me to a girl. Quick, send in the nuke.
That is close to what he ends up doing, and I also love how he jumps out of the top of the bus. And
No one notices.
well, I mean, I would focus more on that the bus doesn't just leave him behind, because that's how momentum works. He would
Yeah.
just fall onto the road. But, you know. Have I seen
Look
Ultimate
at the
Spider-Man? No, I have not.
You've seen all the Spider-Mans now, Trevor?
I've seen all of the ones that matter for No Way Home, which, by the way, I saw No Way Home again on Thursday. I saw the More Fun Stuff edition. If you can believe it, it's even worse now.
It's even more fun.
Please go into
You would
every
make the
single
video.
new detail added.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that
can't
sounds
wait to
like
tell you
fun.
all about it. Starting with, did you guys want to see...
But first, rank the movies first.
Okay, Homecoming's at top. Far From Home's probably next. Then I'd put the first Raimi Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2 from Raimi. Then No Way Home, then Spider-Man 3, and then the two Andrew Garfield movies. You can pick whatever order you want. They're both
Where would-
equally
where-
shit.
Where would Into the
I don't
Spider-Verse go?
believe that they're both equally on the same level.
The second one's definitely way worse than the first one.
I don't know. The first one was really, really bad.
Yeah, but
But the second one is really, really,
stopped-
really bad.
But you stopped giving a shit about the second one.
That is
It
true.
was so bad that your brain literally said, "Fuck this! I'm not suffering through this."
However, the first Amazing Spider-Man had a more continuous string of bullshit, whereas the second one has a whole lot of nothing for great portions of it. So there's less stuff to break.
It's more boring, and it's.
I don't know if there's less to break. It kind of has too much going on. From what I remember.
Oh, I love the scene in the
It's not
first movie where he
long.
throws a trophy through the window to open it up instead of just breaking it like he does earlier in the movie.
God, I love when you keep thinking of more plot holes. After you're done,
Anyway,
like, wait a minute,
No Way
there's like 10
Home.
more plot holes.
More
Oh,
fun
also,
stuff.
Trevor, where would Into the Spider-Verse go?
I
onto
need to
your
watch it again, but it would definitely, from memory, it would be above Raimi's first movie, possibly above Far From Home, but I don't know that it would beat out Homecoming. But I need to see it again.
Yeah. Oh, it would beat out Homecoming for me.
But, so, did you guys want to see an interview with Betty, or whatever the hell her name is? Because I sure
Betty?
did. There was a sequence of, like,
Oh, yeah.
it felt like 3, maybe 5 full uncut minutes of her just interviewing everybody. Interviewing MJ, Peter, Ned, the teachers, asking, like, what's it like to know Spider-Man? And it's the cringiest, most unfunny thing in the world. There's some shots, because most of the stuff that they added is just random 1 or 2 shots, like 10-second long clips that were cuts, like, okay, well, you could have cut that, you could have left it in, it wouldn't really make much of a difference. But the major things they added are that interview scene and the scene, just a longer version of the 3 Spider-Men chatting before all the villains come in. And it's just like, guys, there's a point where you stop, because I actually had to look at my watch. I was like, how long has this been going on for when the 3 Spider-Men started talking? It was ridiculous. And the More Fun Stuff edition is just proof as to why editors need to exist. Editors are a vital component of what makes a movie good, because they trim the fat and they condense it down to something that's actually good. The More Fun Stuff edition is just proof of that. And do I even need to mention the Snyder Cut? Like, holy shit.
They should have called it
I
the
was gonna bring that
unnecessary
up. I was gonna
edition.
bring that up. I was gonna say that
But the
this-
Oscars, but the
I don't know.
Academy doesn't think editors are important.
Well, unfortunately, I don't really give a shit about what the Academy thinks, because after
Never
the
mind.
awards they give out to people, I don't really have any reason to place their opinions on anything with any level of relevance. Was it the Oscars or some other equivalent of that show where they made a snide joke about how animation is just for kids?
Out of the Oscars.
Okay, so that's another reason. They're like, hey, animation that was a last minute. I don't know if I mentioned this. That was a last minute addition in my April Fool's script. That wasn't originally in the script, but then they said that, and I'm like, well, that's going in the video. Animation is something kids enjoy and adults have to endure.
I also love how there was like a really adult animation movie in the nominees. They said that.
Well, that would require them to watch the movies to know what they actually had in them.
Exactly. They don't even
movie.
watch half the movies they nominate.
Half? That's very
Over half.
generous.
Over half. They don't watch any of the movies. They're just sitting there like, yep, the people are talking about this one. Disney sent us 2,000 emails. Put this in here. All right, I'll just throw that there. Oh, Pixar released a movie. Okay, they win.
Oh, and by the way, when we went to see No Way Home, it was Thursday, in the middle of the day, meaning that we were the only people in the theater. And man, when there's nobody else nearby to watch No Way Home, it becomes abundantly clear very quickly that there are several
funny.
scenes that are there just for the audience to clap at. By which I mean, look, it's Andrew Garfield. Nothing happens for about 5 seconds.
Yep.
Possibly longer. Oh, look, it's Tobey Maguire. Nothing happens for about 5 seconds, possibly longer.
Imagine watching a Marvel movie without the audience clapping and laughing at every shitty joke.
Imagine watching a Marvel movie without wanting to kill yourself because people will never shut the fuck up at literally anything.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen comments on people saying, dude, if you, like, a reasonable person saying, can you guys just shut up and let people enjoy the movie? To which someone will clap back with, well, a real Spider-Man fan would get swept up in the excitement of it all and clap along. It's like, okay, how about some people just don't want to have people clamoring in there. There's a reason why in movie theaters people say beforehand, hey, silence your phones, stop talking, don't ruin the movie for other people. But
Yeah.
to Marvel fans, it's just entirely other standard of living, I guess.
I'm so happy that in the movie theaters I visit most of the time, that doesn't tend to happen often. I had that one situation that I told you about already, but that was before the movie happened.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and there's also I think they added a post-credit scene where it shows what Doctor Strange's spell did, and basically it shows a picture of Peter and his friends on the trip, but Peter's face is obscured by pigeons. So
I cannot wait for this Marvel video.
You don't understand what you've just broken. Like, because the spell already made no goddamn sense at all. Now you've made it doubly make no sense, because, I'm sorry, if let's say I'm in this world, and I'm one of these kids in the trip, and I see a picture on my shelf, and I think, oh man, what a lovely trip that was. I got my friends Betty, and Ned, and MJ, and... Wait, who the fuck is this kid? Who's behind the pigeons that I can't see? Hey, does anyone else know who this kid is? You're gonna start asking questions. You can't sustain this. And, man, how exactly are you able to get an apartment when all records of your existence have been wiped from the planet? I hate No Way Home. It's so bad. No Way Home just is terrible.
Why did they decide to make everyone forget about Peter Parker?
Also, Trevor, don't you love how they confirmed that Zendaya is going to be returning for the next Spider-Man
Oh,
movie?
dude, I love it. I love baiting in the audience's emotions by saying, see, look at our boy Peter. He made such an emotionally mature choice. He grew up. He had character development. And you know what? When I watched the movie, I was like, okay, cool, but that's not gonna stick, because nothing sticks in the MCU. Vision's dead? No, he's not. Gamora's dead? No, she's not. Loki's dead? No, he's not. Fuck you. So when the MCU does something significant like that anymore, my only reaction is, okay, but you're just gonna undo it in the next movie anyway. And what do you know? They announced saying Zendaya is confirmed to come back for the MCU. Well, that's really strange, because you'd think that if she has no more affiliation with Peter Parker, then what reason would she have to come back except to restore their memory? And, by the way, I watched a review from a certain duo of people that will go unmentioned that explicitly said they gotta get them back together at some point. They gotta. It's a crime to leave them apart. It's like, you people don't understand that stories are not there just to shove fan service at you. There's a point where stories have to end. There's a point where conclusions of character journeys need to be reached, and you can't just undo things at the second people. You can't just kill off a main character. Be it it's a hyperbolic example that doesn't relate to the MCU, but it's still, point still stands. You can't just kill off a character and then bring him back because, oh, well, look at that. People love this character. So let's have our cake and eat it too. Let's get the emotional value of a death scene and then get the emotional applause of bringing them back into the movie. What's that? Gamora? Loki? Vision? Wow. Look at that. Oh, and Wanda? She's not dead. She is not dead. That's just not... They
already confirmed she would come back.
Oh, did they? Oh, how fantastic!
I have no idea, but I think
Great, dude, great.
Is that a clip from my security breach video? That exact inflection when I say "great, dude"? I feel like it might be.
I'm pretty sure I remember during the Game Awards stream when the Fall Guy stuff got out. You're like, oh, Cuphead, great, dude. Great.
I probably said it there too. So in conclusion, the MCU is shit now.
Now?
Time for Phase 5, where we go below hell.
Is it decade? No, it's not decade. Half decade, probably.
Well, I don't know. I feel like up until Infinity War was really good.
When did Infinity War come out then?
Infinity War came out in 2018.
Oh, I thought it was 2017. My bad. Almost half a decade.
I'm happy I never started watching the MCU.
And I would even say Endgame at least gave the characters some finality. And hey, Far From Home was good, and that was 2019.
Endgame is still leaps and bounds better than anything in Phase 4.
That's true, but...
And then nothing happened in 2020, and then 2021 is when Phase 4 started, and now it's 2022.
It's only been 2 years?
Yep.
Jesus, it feels like a fucking decade of this.
Because they crap out so much in such a condensed period of time, and they overwork their... But, okay, I don't know if you guys know what Secret Wars is, but Forgetful Gal actually told me what it's supposed to be. You are not fucking prepared for this movie. She told me that it's like Battle Royale, where all the heroes get dropped, they get taken somewhere and dropped into an arena, and it's like a Battle Royale Hunger Games style thing. I'm not kidding.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
Well, If they well, they lose either way. If they do it, then it's shit. But if they don't, then the comic people are gonna be like, yeah, my adaptation's my comic. So they lose either way. I'm fine with whatever road you want to go down, guys. You're fucked no matter what.
And when that releases, they will do a crossover with freaking Fortnite.
Yeah, they already did that. Maybe that was them playing 4D chess and laying the groundwork in advance by dropping Thanos in there.
Yeah, one of the Secret Wars plot points was, we gotta get to the Infinity Gauntlet and turn it to Thanos.
Oh wait, since they already did it, then they will make their own Battle Royale game. They will get it made. They have the budget.
It's also a Toys for Life game.
Oh god.
Yes, also with paid DLC.
This is the Trevor
separate
goes
from the
part of the stream. Yeah, this is the part where no, Avert left.
Oh.
Oof.
This is the part where we talk about how shit everything is.
Who could have guessed that would happen?
Anyway, yeah, I'm actually working on the new MCU Battle Royale project myself. I just finished coding it in a She-Hulk talking emote.
Oh my god, the thought of me having to... Here's the problem, because I'm going to make a video on Phase 4 of the MCU eventually. There's too much. There's too much shit to talk about in a video. I don't even know.
How much, is it like 6 shows? I mean, not 6.
I don't know. You know what, I'm going to look right now.
WandaVision,
Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, What If we count that. Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk. We're at 8 shows right now.
Oh my god. It's been 2 years.
Did I miss any?
Shows, like, what, 4 movies?
Oh, and they also made the I Am Groot shorts. And then for movies, they gave us Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Multiverse of Madness, No Way Home, Thor Love and Thunder.
6
Best movie.
God. Make it end.
It never will, because people are going to keep eating it up.
Determine a stopping point. You should determine a stopping point. Then you have something to work towards.
Maybe we should make a movie called, I don't know, Endgame. Maybe we should end it there. That might make sense.
Yes, it should have made sense.
Kang Dynasty.
I can't wait for the Kang Dynasty. It's going to be so great.
Good fucking name.
Aren't you so excited to see the Kang Dynasty? Doesn't it sound so cool?
The stakes are so fucked. Like, what is the Kang Dynasty gonna consist of?
I don't know. I don't know what anybody can do. Everybody's power levels are so monumentally bugged. I don't have any understanding of what anybody's powers are anymore. And then you look to the future. Let me pull up Marvel Phase 5 movies just to see what shit is coming in the future.
Yeah, Phase 4 is until what year exactly? Not
until Phase 4 is going till November
of this year.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think they just planned Phase 4 to be much longer than that, and then they saw that people.
Oh, they did. They absolutely did. Because the more, let me pull this up for the stream.
It's the last movie of the Phase 4. Then
it was originally supposed to be Fantastic Four, I'm pretty sure. And it was also supposed to include Guardians 3, Ant-Man 3, and the Marvels, all of which have been pushed to Phase 5. That's not a coincidence. There's no way.
I'm just looking at this. There's so many movies that they're trying to fit in here.
Movies and shows.
We have Ant-Man 3 in February, and then Secret Invasion, which I'm sure is going to be great. Guardians 3... Honestly, Guardians 3 is the only one that I actually think might be good because I trust James Gunn. But that's it.
Even if there's the whole Gamora thing.
I think my rating of Guardians 3 is going to entirely depend on how they handle Gamora as a character, because I hate the fact that she's just there. And people say, oh, it's a different version of herself. That doesn't matter. It's... I mean, granted, I guess it is better than what they did to Loki and vision where they literally just implanted the memories into the other version of themselves, so they're basically back. But I still don't trust them.
Talking about Loki season 2.
The only Marvel show to get a season 2, and what a shit one to pick to give it to.
Also, that logo is such shit. What a shitty logo.
Overall, just the logos are not. They don't even look alike most of the time. I mean,
That's not really a problem. It's just that Loki literally looks like shit.
I guess all I'll
yes, it
say
does.
is that at least Pixar is only doing 1 movie or 2 movies per year instead of this.
It now also shows. Speaking of which,
I
I
don't.
heard that there's been a Cars show.
I do need to show you guys the Cars show. It's something.
Oh boy.
Daredevil Born Again.
And then Phase 6 gives us Fantastic Four. They pushed Fantastic Four back 2 phases. And then there's the Kang Dynasty. It's such a crap name.
Those last two don't look like real logos for
Or
real
names.
Yeah, or names. Yeah.
It's just depressing.
But when is this even gonna be released anyway? The Phase 6.
According to this chart, November 8th, 2024. I think that's an 8.
Alright.
Phases do they have planned ahead right now?
It's, Phase 5 and 6.
So,
Wait, am I seeing it correctly? Are they gonna double down? Because that's that's 4 movies and 4 shows. No, 5 shows a year. What the fuck?
Ant-Man 3, Guardians 3, The Marvels, and Blade. Yep, that's... Jesus. Why? I don't get it.
Less is more sometimes.
What? Open wide.
Quantity does not overwrite quality.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter, because people are going to keep eating this stuff up. But, like, sure... I will say, at least it feels like Marvel fatigue is starting to set in a little bit, because the tide is turning somewhat against Multiverse of Madness and Thor: Love and Thunder. The turnaround for those movies was a lot quicker than the turnaround for the...
What's the next movie again?
I believe the next movie is Black Panther, I think? Is it?
Oh, that one's gonna...
Does that sound right?
I hope it doesn't suck, because if it does, it's gonna cause a shitstorm again.
I hope it doesn't suck for Forgetful Gal's sake, because she's really, really excited for it. But at this point, I'm done giving a shit about the MCU.
Imagine the crew on that film. I feel bad for them.
I don't even know where I would be, just because of the circumstances surrounding Chadwick Boseman's death. Like that, that could not have been easy to work with writing wise. Yeah, the next movie is Black Panther 2. The next show is the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special coming out this December.
Alright.
Which,
Sure.
maybe. Whatever, we'll see. When am I continuing Let's Plays? The second I have time to do so. Believe me, if I currently had the time to be able to make Incredibles 2 and produce daily Let's Plays, I would do it. But currently, Incredibles 2 just requires a lot of effort on my end and time that I can't split across the 2 projects equally. Well, I guess that's all we had to say today. That was the PlayStation State of Play, which is the least interesting part of the stream.
It was also the shorter part of the stream.
Because Sony owns Spider-Man, and that's how everything of substance in this live stream was allowed to happen.
The videos are really good, and for some reason you rewatch them. Thanks. Glad you like them, and I'm glad you apparently like them enough to want to rewatch them. That's great to hear. But in the meantime, I
watched the Lightyear audio commentary.
you'll be able to hear the 4 people on the call right now, and the 5th person who was here earlier but left abruptly. Watch Lightyear in real time and talk about how awful it is. And we might do more of those in the future. You never know.
Who
Yeah.
knows? It's
Yeah,
one
we're
of
doing the Mario
nature's
movie one
mysteries.
right now.
Let's not do that.
No, well, don't you remember? We already recorded it.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
Could you imagine if we recorded it without a Vert here? The person who's been...
Yeah, he'd be pissed.
He's watching the
He would be pissed.
Oh my god, I gotta get back to the call right now.
Yeah, he suddenly just randomly decides to join now of all times.
How dare you? How dare you see?
How dare you watch the original Mario movie without me? Alright, well, I'm gonna wrap things up for the stream. Thanks everybody who tuned in to listen to me rant about how shit Marvel is and who tuned in to watch us talk about the nothingness that was the state of play. First time I've ever done 2 live streams in one day. I don't expect this to ever happen again. But, first time for everything, I suppose. So yeah, that'll be it for now.
Yes, yeah.
So you want to say your farewells, everybody?
Yeah, sure. See you guys later. Whenever something happens where we show up again.
And Nirvana Initiative shit. Bye.
Never forget.
Never forget, it's like my whole personality.
Alright, see you guys later.